Everybody, I'm sitting here with Lucas Stahl from Netherlands, and he's a microbiologist. And today we are going to talk about the EU-US short course on bioinformatics. But first of all, we will start with some warm-up questions. How was your trip to Bremen in Germany?
Yeah, well, it was pretty easy. I went first to Groningen, which is it's my hometown basically, where I grew up and studied biology. And my girlfriend is living there, so I just went there. And from Groningen to Bremen is less than 3 hours by train, and it's smooth, and only one change. So.
Yeah. And you arrived yesterday at the campus. How do you like the surroundings in Bremen?
Yeah, well, I lived for 10 years in Oldenburg, so it's very close to Bremen. And from that period, yeah, I've been many times to Bremen. But that was before Jacobs University was founded, and this is the first time actually that I'm here at the Jacobs University, so I've never seen that before.
And how are your impressions about the campus?
Yeah, it's very military, I understood, and that's how it should be, huh, for students. Yeah, otherwise they don't work.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit and talk about the fields of science you work in. I know you are studying cyanobacteria. Yeah.
I studied biology in Groningen University quite a long time ago, and specialized in microbiology. I'm really trained as a classical microbiologist, and then after my studies, after my masters, I went to Germany in Oldenburg University, and there I fell in love with, well, among others, cyanobacteria and microbial mats in the North Sea, and the process of nitrogen fixation. And that is something that I always stayed with. I did other things as well. After 10 years, I took a position as assistant associate professor at the University of Amsterdam, where I stayed 8 years, working also then at planktonic cyanobacteria and also diatoms, benthic diatoms. And then I moved to the Netherlands Institute of Ecology in a Center for Marine and Estuarine Ecology. And that institute just merged with the Netherlands Institute of Sea Research from the 1st of January. So I'm working at a marine institution, and I'm head of a department of marine microbiology. And through the back door I came back to the University of Amsterdam, as well as taking an extraordinary chair in marine microbiology there.
Okay, let's come now to the short course here. It's a joint EU and US workshop. Could you describe your role and your contribution? You just held your talk.
Yeah, I was invited to give this lecture on marine microbiology in this course. I must say I wasn't aware of this course, or not even of this task force. Somehow I missed that. So after I got invited, I read the latest report of that task force, and understand what the purpose of this course is. And I think it's really important. And I'm also proud that I can contribute only with my lecture. Basically, I'm only here for one day, and I hope that I have a possibility to talk to the students here. And yeah, it's wonderful, but I'm not more than my talk and being present for one day. I'm not involved in this course.
But what are your impressions? So, what do you think about the whole aim of this EU and US collaboration, and what do you think might come out of this?
Yeah, collaboration is always very good, and the issue of bioinformatics, especially for the marine microbiology, is a very, very pressing one in my view. There are too few bioinformaticists in the world, and this is something that we really need. We extending our databases at a rate you cannot imagine. We're just producing more and more, but we're lagging behind with the software and the way of treating these huge databases. And I think it's really necessary to train the next generation of scientists, especially in this field. And I think I was really shocked to hear that so many applicants were there, and that so few. I mean, this is a danger also, that so many people had got to know. I mean, the wish is there. So I think this course, I'm not involved in the organization, but I can just advise that this must be bigger more often, and we should not disappoint these people that wanted to do this course that get a no. I mean, this is just not an option. This is a good start, but yeah, that's my opinion.
Fine. So you are around for 2 days now, and what is your impression about the interaction between participants and speakers? And did you already meet some interesting people? Can you maybe comment a little bit on that?
Well, yeah, interesting people. Yeah, we had yesterday this meeting with the EU-US task force. I happen to know one of the EU representatives of the Commission, who happens to be my scientific officer of an EU project that I'm running. For the rest, I know some of the speakers, and I've talked with them, and I know only one of the course participants before, and so I met at the breakfast. I went to that table and had breakfast with a couple of them, and just talked a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm here too short to really say much about the interactions that are going on. But from what I hear, it's going very well, and yeah.
But maybe from a more general point of view, what would you say is important to successfully interact between the EU and the US? So what kind of decisions need to be taken to make this meeting successful?
I think that it's always good to have collaborations, but I can also imagine that that you have the course also in both continents, in Europe and in the US. What I would say for an extension, I would advise to extend the course to Africa and to Asia as well. I mean, you could do that, especially Africa. They never get to these courses because they're just let out, they're far away, we don't know the people, it's difficult to reach them. It would be wonderful to have a course, an African course. I mean, it happens some European countries have some collaborations in developmental help and so on. And I think for the African people it's really, really important, because this is really a continent that will be important in very soon, And so Asia would also be a good place to have these courses, so not the old world like US, Europe and so on.
True. What about the motivation of the course in general? Do you think it makes sense to take all these people with interdisciplinary backgrounds and then for 2 weeks teach them bioinformatics? I mean, it's a steep learning curve, and do you think this is an approach which is successful, or can you comment on that?
Well, it's good to have these interdisciplinary things. It's may be some difficulties on the level that you can teach the course, because you have so many different baselines of the students. But most of them, they are intelligent and they have sufficient basis, and I think it's good to do that. Just the interdisciplinary is one of the remarkable things of bioinformatics. I mean, that there it comes all together, and so yeah, I don't think it's a problem.
What do you think about the organization in general? What is your impression? How's the workshop organized?
Yeah, I must say I didn't find any trouble not getting here and finding my place. It was all easy, and I met everybody that I needed to meet, so I think it's well organized. Yeah.
So in this evening there will be a city tour.
Yeah.
I hope you are looking forward to that, and you can.
Yeah, I know Bremen a little bit, and I have had this city tour in another meeting that I was here a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And so, but I'm really pleased to go again and see what they called the animals that are on top of each other.
Bremer
Bremer Stadsmusikanten, yeah.
Most people are very disappointed when they see them, because they are rather small.
Yeah. Last time they were packed or they were removed or so for renovation, but they are back now? Or?
They are back
okay,
now.
So wonderful.
And if you touch the legs of the donkey, it brings luck. So
okay,
yeah,
wow. even more luck. I will take your advice for that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time and for answering all the questions patiently.
Okay.
And have a nice rest of the.
Thank you. Dankeschön.